let me show you on this video how to create a survey on Google Forms. So follow me to my desktop right now. Hey, what's up everyone? My name is George and this is Noupe Magazine. On this video, we're going to cover how to create a survey here on Google Forms. Now, this is a great idea when you have a company and you want to know how you're actually doing. So you can send out these survey forms and get responses so you can analyze how your business is actually doing or where you can improve your business. So here we go. This is Google Forms and this is my dashboard. Be aware that if you are in Google Sheets, Gmail, etc., just go ahead and click on More Apps options here. Scroll down here and you're going to find a purple icon. It's the form icon. This is going to take you here and you're going to be able to create your surveys right away. Now, before I show you how to create one from a blank form, let me show you that they do have a template that you can use right away. For example, let me show you this one that I like, course evaluation. So this is a survey template that you can start using right now. What I like about this is that you can customize this template already and use it for your particular needs. So it's a great idea. You can start using this right now. For example, this has for the class name, instructor. You have the choices here available. There's a choice grid available here also, but I'm going to show you how to do all of that from scratch. Okay, so let's go back into our main dashboard. Let's go to blank form. And this is going to kick off the form creator and we're going to use it for a survey. So first thing we want to do is give this a name, survey. All right. Obviously give it a name that's more based on your business, but in this case, I'm just going to name it survey. I can add a description if I like. In this case, I'm not. And then we have our first questions. So the first one that gets kicked off here from Google Forms is the multiple choice. But we're going to get started in the first one. So this is short answer. So if you have a survey that you want to ask a short answer, this is the way to go. So this would be a question that would be responded in a short manner. So something like yes, no, or maybe what dessert do you like the most? And it's a response that's short. So basically the title says what it does, the short answer, right? You can also add an image to this if you like. So for example, you can upload an image you can use from your photos, Google Drive, Google Images, etc. So it's super easy to use, which gives it a little image to describe what this particular question is about, right? Now you can go ahead and clone this question. You can delete it. You can make it required so they can't jump to the next section if they don't respond something. And you have the option to add a description or response validation, right? So all these options are available. Let's go ahead and switch this up for paragraph. So the paragraph is same as the short answer, but we're going to give them a section where they can add a long answer. So obviously the question will be based on something that you can use for a long answer, right? The next one I want to show you is the multiple choice. So the multiple choice option gives us the option to add a question here and responses, but they have only the option to respond one. Okay, so they have to use one of these choices. For example, if I'm asking, what did you like the most about our restaurant? So it could be, for example, the service, it could be desserts, it could be building, etc. Right? It just gives us the options here to respond. Now remember, the multiple choice only gives us the option to respond to one of these. If you need to have a question that can have several answers, you want to use the checkbox option. Okay, so in this case, we have the option to add an image into each single one of these. So if it was about desserts, we'll add some desserts there to kind of give it the idea of what it's for. If you don't like any of these questions, you need to remove it. Just click on the X button. All right. We also have the option to add other. So that means that if it's something in particular that they like, but it's not available in the options, they can click on other and add the response there, right? And again, we can go ahead and clone this, delete it, make it required. And we have options, for example, to add a description. We have the option to go to a section based on the answer. So for example, if we have more questions available here and we want to send them to a particular section of our questions, we can do so by doing it this way. So for example, in this case, there's only one more section, but if we had 5 questions, we would be viewing 5 sections and we can make them jump to the third section if they respond, for example, desserts. So maybe if they select desserts, they don't need to respond the second or third question. We could jump on to the fourth one by using this option, okay? Or just send it to submit the form straight away. So several options available there. Let's go ahead and turn this off. Let's go ahead and add a new one. Okay, this time I want to show you the checkboxes. So the checkboxes is different from the other one. This one lets us respond several questions here. For example, did you get offered these services? And it could be option 1, for example, free drink, It could be another option like free dessert. The other one could be option to upgrade, etc. Just add your options there and they can respond, yeah, we received the option for free drink, free dessert, and the option to upgrade. So they can respond several of these right here. And again, we can go ahead and clone this, delete it, make it required, add a description, response validation, and shuffle the option order. That means that every single time that someone previews this survey, it's going to shuffle the answers. Okay, let's go to the next one. I want to show you. Here we go. Let's go ahead and select the next one is the drop down. So kind of like the multiple choice is the drop down. So we can select the same question here. For example, I'll use the same one. And then we have the option 1. We'll keep option 2 and option 3. So it's going to drop down and we can select 1. So it's a really easy way to kind of make the form shorter and just drop down with the menu of the options available, right? Next one I want to show you is the file upload. So if you need to enable a way for the users to upload files, for example, the receipt for the service that were provided, especially when someone has a bad experience, maybe we want to have more proof of what's going on, maybe the what's wrong with the dish, etc. We have the option to upload here, right? The next one I want to show you is linear scale. So linear scale is a great way to obviously respond in a scale manner. Like how did we do with the service we provided? So for example, let's ask a question. How was the service provider? And 1 would be for bad, 5 would be for great. And we can make this all the way up to 10. So we can do this here. So in this case, they're going to be able to view the linear scale here and they'll be able to respond. So they'll know that 1 is bad and 10 is great. So they'll respond based on that, all right? And again, we have the option to clone, delete, required, and add a description to this. Let's go ahead and add a new one. Next one I want to show you is the multiple choice grid. So just like the multiple choice that we previously saw, but in a grid manner. So in this case, we'll see the rows on the left and the column on the right to select. So it's a great way to use depending on the type of question that you want to ask for your survey, right? And the next one I want to show you is checkbox grid. So just like the checkbox option, but in a grid manner, right? And we also have the option to add a date. So that means that, for example, in this case, we're talking about a restaurant. It's a survey for a restaurant. We can ask, what date did you visit us? And it helps us kind of improve. Maybe someone was working that day and someone else wasn't. And we can analyze that and see why we got a great service that day or why we didn't, etc. And there's also the option for the time, which could be also a great option to ask if it's for a restaurant. For example, what time did you visit us? So that you know the date and the time, especially when something goes wrong, you want to know what time it was. So it's an option that you can ask there, all right? Let me go ahead and delete this for now. So we're good to go with the survey. We're going to keep it simple. We're going to be able to preview it by clicking on this I button. Let's go here and we're able to respond. So let's go ahead and do this once to show you. Let's go ahead and select service. Remember, we're only able to select one. We can also select other and type in whatever we want there. Okay. And then we have the checkbox. We can select several of these. So we were asked these 3 services, just hypothetically answering here. Then we have the drop down. Again, like as I mentioned before, you're able to select 1. And then how was the service provider? This was the linear scale, 1 for bad and 10 for great. And I'm going to say 8. All right. Let's go ahead and submit this right here. And we have submitted our first survey here on Google Forms. Let's go back here. We can go ahead and view a response right here. So once you start receiving several responses, this is going to help us because we're going to be able to analyze what's going on right here. You're going to be able to view responses, for example, right here. For example, the response 1, service, everything's 100% because there's only been 1 submitted. But once you have several of these submitted, this is going to help us out analyze what's going on here, right? Did you get offered these services? And we got 3 right here. What did you like the most about our restaurant? Option 2 was answered here, and we have 100% there. How was the service provider? And again, we're going to be able to view all these analytics to help us analyze our business and improve wherever we need to. Okay. We can also link this to Sheets in case you want to send it out over there. We're able to view our questions here. For example, select the question and we're able to view them right here. Okay. And individuals. So here we're able to view the individual response here. In this case, there's only 1 response for this one. And you have the settings here. For example, if you want to make this quiz, obviously there's a survey, not a quiz. The responses, do you want to collect the emails? Responder input, do not collect, verified. Send responders a copy of the response. If you want to enable this, you can allow response editing, limit response to 1, presentation, form defaults, and question defaults. So several options available here on Google Forms to create your surveys right away. Now, if you're looking for more advanced capabilities, I recommend that you check out Jotform. They have several options available for creating a survey alongside with several templates available. So if you go to the template section and search for the survey templates, they have hundreds of templates available. So in this case, for surveys, there's over 2,000 templates. You can go ahead and preview these, check them out. You can actually test them here before you actually use the template. You can go ahead and pull this template and edit it to your liking. Now there's templates available, for example, for a custom feedback survey. So I could go ahead and test it out, see if I like it. Maybe the questions kind of fit my needs, just kind of tweak it a bit for my business, and I can go ahead and use this template. There's also the online shopping survey. Check these out. Here we go. The classroom observation survey. So this was a little bit more long, but we can go ahead and test it here, kind of get the feel of how it works, what type of questions are added here. And if we like the template, we can go ahead and use it. There's also the employee exit interview form. Again, several templates available. It's just crazy how many templates you can use here on Jotform. Now, if you want to create a brand new survey, go to my forms here, go to create a form, and in form, I'm going to use start from scratch. You can go ahead and use a template and get started right away and just kind of tweak it here and there, and it's practically ready. But in this case, it's a brand new form. And the first thing we want to ask is obviously the basic elements. So in this case, we want to ask the name, the address, and then we want to go to the multiple choice questions, etc. So just like Google Forms, you have your short text. You can go ahead and add it here, ask the question, and you got this small box, okay? You can add a long text, and again, you got a bigger box for a question that needs a more thorough response. You got paragraph, you got the drop down. Again, go ahead and add your options here. For example, I don't know, dessert, dinner, food, etc. Just add your options there, and it's a drop down menu. You also have single choice. Remember, only one of these can be selected because it's a single choice. So the question that you're going to ask here has to be based on a one response. For example, what did you like the most about our food? And it could be, for example, taste, presentation, and we're just going to keep it simple. Those two available there. Then you got your multiple choice. Again, just like you saw on Google Forms, we're able to select several of these options, okay? You got numbers, you got images, file upload time, captcha, etc., input table. So these are survey elements. These are more focused on the survey. For example, the input table. And it's really easy to customize our grid here. For example, ask the question, and then we could just select right here and add the option that we want to add here. For example, I'll keep it as it is, but then you have your choices here. Then there's the option, the properties for these. Now, be aware that there's properties for all of these that makes it really advanced for editing, okay? So the general, you got your fields. You can change the field look here. You can change it here. See how it starts changing? You can make it the radio button, the checkbox, the drop down, and the text box, numeric text box, currency, multiple type, and you can edit the rows from here in columns, or you can do it through direct editing there, right? And there's the options button here for the table width, column width, etc., and the advanced options. All these options are available for the input table. Star rating. So again, it could be how did you like our service, and we can rate from 1 to 5 stars, or we can use the scale rating here. So again, if I go to the properties for this one, I can go to options and I can turn this, instead of 5, I can make it 10, just like we saw on Google Forms, for example, okay? And there's several more options for the divider, section collapse, etc. So let's go ahead and preview this really quickly. Here we go. So the name, the address, the question, radio button, text box, grid. Here we go. We have the stars and the 1 to 10. Let's go ahead and submit this. All right, it's been submitted. Now that's a really great way to create a survey. Now let me show you a widget that you're going to like a lot, which is the progress bar widget. So let's go ahead and go into widgets, search for progress bar. Let's drop in our progress bar. Now it's okay if you drop it in the middle, on the top, etc. The progress bar will be displayed in a particular section, okay? So the first thing we're gonna be viewing is the widget settings. So in this case, it's no need to make it required. You can make this stick to top. You can also add some form fields to be ignored. So that means that if you don't want the form field to be counted as, for example, we don't want to count the name and the address as in the progress bar. So just add the form fields here, okay? You can make the required fields of message to be something else, all fields message, so fields completed, and submit message, and the bar color, okay? So let's go ahead and update this widget. Let's go preview this form. Now we're going to have a progress bar on the top. So everything that we fill out, it's going to be counted towards the completion of the progress bar. So let me go ahead and fill all this out. Here we go. So here we go, 100%. Please submit the form, because that's the message that we had available there. We can go ahead and change this message if we like. And fields completed, 10 out of 10. So here we go. We're good to go with the progress bar. That's pretty cool, right? Let me fill this out with dummy information for testing purposes. And let's go ahead and submit it right now. Here we go. It's been submitted. Now, where do we preview our forms that are submitted? Let's go ahead and go into our tables. So let's go into tables for this particular survey that we've just created. And we're going to be able to view all the responses available here. Here we go. In a table manner, we're able to view all of this. If you want to view this in a more visual way, we can go ahead and create a brand new tab, and we can create, for example, reports for this. Let's click next, select this survey, and we can do a compact report, hit next, and it's going to create a brand new tab for the reports available here. So here we go. We can now view this in a more visual way. We can analyze the analytics through our reports available here. So different type of visualizations. And yes, we can change where these are located. We can remove, we can edit, we can change the colors. We could do a whole lot of things with these sections. So it's a really great way to visualize our submissions. So several ways that you can add tabs and really customize what you can do with the Jotform submissions. But there you go. That's how you're going to create a survey on Google Forms. It's a really great way to analyze your business, how it's doing, by having your customers respond to these surveys and improve your business where you have those spots that need improvements. Well, I thank you all for watching. Please let us know here in the comments what you think about Google Form surveys and what you would like to see in the future. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that little bell notification to get notified when new videos come out. And that's a wrap.